Hi guys, welcome to Mastering the Terraform Associate Qualification. Today I'm going to help you on your path to becoming a certified Terraform Associate. This is for inspirational purposes, but I have taken and passed the Terraform exam, so you're in safe hands. Today I'm going to talk you through my experience, give you my hints and tips to help you on your journey to becoming a Terraform Associate, what information I think I can give you to help you pass your exam, to try and streamline the process. But as I say, this is just for inspirational purposes. This is what your qualification will look like. It took 5 working days for mine to come through on email from HashiCorp, but this is what it looks like. So, it says it's HashiCorp Cloud Engineer Certifications. It certifies that Joseph Hatton has taken and passed the exam. So again, this is just so you know you're in good hands. A little bit around kind of why Terraform. So I'm assuming because you've clicked on this video, you already have a basic understanding of Terraform, but it is the leading or one of the leading infrastructure as code tools out there. It's completely cloud agnostic, so you can use it to deploy infrastructure and resources across all clouds or all major clouds. It's really easy to use once you're familiar with it and understand it's working. It's one of the fastest growing cross-cloud infrastructure as code tools out there, as I mentioned. It's used across large financial organizations, and it's in high demand across the DevOps roles. And it's also really good for high pay. So I think on here it says the average salary for a Terraform Associate is $150,000 per year in the USA. So it just goes to show you how popular and how in demand the Terraform Associate qualification is. Terraform Associate Exam overview. So you may have already seen some of this, but if not, I'm going to give you a little overview. So if you go into Google and type in HashiCorp Terraform Associate Exam, it will bring you to this page, and you could just get familiar with this. It's not something that you need to learn straight away, but it's the review guide. So the key concepts that you'll need to know for the exam are understanding infrastructure as code, IAC concepts, understanding the purpose of Terraform, these other infrastructure as code tools, understanding Terraform basics, use Terraform outside of the core workflow, interact with Terraform modules. That's a big part. There was a lot of questions in the exam around Terraform modules, and that's definitely something I would say spend quite a lot of time on. Get familiar with modules, parent and child modules, how you write different modules and stuff like that. It was a big part in the exam. Use the core Terraform workflow. Again, that's a key one, being able to write, plan, and create your resources. Terraform init, which stands for Terraform initialize. Implement and maintain state. State is another big part of the exam. They ask you a lot of questions, well, at least they ask me a lot of questions around state, how you manage your state locking, where you can store your state. If you're not familiar with that yet, it's something, don't worry, that you will get to learn as part of the Terraform study. Regenerate and modify configuration. Again, there's another key part. Understand Terraform cloud capabilities. That was another section that I got quite a lot of questions on in my exam, was Terraform cloud and how you can use that with enterprise. There is also an exam study guide. I don't want to spend too long on this in this video today. Take some time to have a look at it. It does talk you through a lot of the different steps, Terraform fundamentals and stuff like that. So get familiar with this. And we'll talk through this in another video. Prerequisites. So I would say, you want a good basic Terraform and terminal coding skills. So a tool that is my favorite for writing and practicing your Terraform code is Visual Studio Code. So if you're on Windows, you can go to the Microsoft Store and type in Visual Studio Code. So I think it looks like this. Visual Studio Code here. And then this is the tool that I use to write my configuration files. So before I talk you through more detail on this and how this works, the reason I like this so much is because they use a color coordination with your code. So it makes it quite easy to work out which bits are which and separate them. But if I go back to here, if you go to the Terraform registry, and you type in a provider that you're most familiar with. So I found that a lot of the study material referenced AWS. So I just want to become familiar with AWS stuff. So if you go to the Terraform registry and type in AWS, it'll bring you to a page like this. And then you can search for different resources that you're looking to deploy. So if I just make one up for this video, AWS ERP Association it will give you example usages on how to write your configuration files in Terraform. So this is really helpful, and this is something that might not make sense straight away, but with time, you'll become familiar with the kind of structure that you follow to deploy resource. So if we just say, why it's got EC2 in there, but we could just make this up. I don't know. And AWS EC2 instance type for data. Again, this is the kind of examples that you would follow. So then you've got your attributes down here that you need to think about. But don't worry about these attributes yet. These are a little bit more advanced. You just want to become familiar with the example usage codes on how you would configure those files. So this is where Visual Studio Code comes in. This is my favorite. So if I just give you a quick walkthrough. So in your configuration block, you'd have Terraform, because obviously we're writing Terraform code. We've got the required providers, obviously AWS. We've got our source code and then the versioning that we want to use of HashiCorp Terraform. This is where you would actually start to write in a bit more detail. So the provider in this case we're using is AWS. The region where we want to deploy our resource is EU West 2. You will need to generate a access and secret key from your cloud service provider. So, AWS, Azure, GCP. You need to log into the console and create an access and secret key so that basically allows Terraform to deploy the resource on your behalf. If you don't have an access key and secret key, you won't be able to deploy any resource. So it is really fundamental that you get this in place. We'll come back to that in another video. In today's video, we'll talk a little bit around the resource, which is what I've just shown you on the other page. Take some time and get familiar with it. But in this case, we're going to deploy a resource. We're looking to deploy an AWS instance called myEC2. The AMI, so if you're familiar with AWS, you can't deploy a AWS instance without selecting what AMI you want, which basically just means is kind of the image of the instance that you want to deploy, which is how Amazon categorizes it. And then the instance type, again, really important. You have to select one of the options that you want to use in order to be able to deploy that. So they're the only two things that you need. And I think there's loads of other things that are optional that you can select if you want to. But with your Terraform configuration file, these are the key things that you need to have in there in order to be able to deploy your resource. So study resources, which we'll talk on a little bit about in this video. So if you, I use Udemy for a lot of my study material. To study all the syllabus and material for the exam, I used the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate 2023. I would not recommend this course. I'll give you a quick overview of what this looks like. I found it quite painful to try and study from this course. The person that presented the course spent a lot of his time talking you through stuff, which was great, but he also made a lot of mistakes, which made it very painful because you would spend a lot of time writing your code, copying them, only to find out that 10 minutes later it's because his English wasn't that great and there was a few typos. So then you would have to go back and try and work out where you've gone wrong, but actually it was just because he made a typo. So I found that put me off quite a lot. I definitely would not recommend this person's course. There's loads out there that you can find on Google or YouTube, but find another course to study and practice on, and then once you get familiar with that, get some hands-on experience doing it yourself. Just conscious of time, we're going to try and get this video under 10 minutes. The biggest part that I think was really helpful for me was doing the practice exam. So once I'd learned all the material, I purchased this course, so HashiCorp Certified Terraform Associate Practice Exams 2023. I would highly recommend this. This is what the course looks like. I think there's 57 questions in each exam, and there's 5 of them, and plus there's a fill in the blank one. And these were really, really good. They tell you where you go wrong, and if you've gone wrong, why you've gone wrong. And they test you on all of the key subjects or chapters that you need in order to take and pass the exam. Create a study plan. Make sure you follow your study plan. So a couple of hours a day. Make sure you're consistent with that. Hands-on experience. We spoke about the My Visual Studio Code. Sample questions. We've got one on here. And that's it for today's video. Thank you and good luck on your Terraform Associate qualification journey. If you like the videos that we're producing, please subscribe to the channel. and with time we'll get better and more frequent at posting Terraform Associate content. Brilliant. Thank you for your time today and good luck on your journey. Bye for now.